The Chinese speed viewers have taken over the world, but this is not news to anyone who's kept up with the rankings constantly changing and everything. I think 5 out of the top 6 averages in the world are currently Chinese children. So, the question that everyone has been asking me, especially in like coaching sessions and everything, is why are they so good? Why are they such outliers? And the answer, besides them having personal coaches that tend to their every need, who tell them what they need to work on and why, the more general overview is something that I do know and something that I actually noticed in a Monkey League match. And I'm going to tell you a little story that relates to it. So when I was in middle school, I was very good at tennis. I was nothing too special, but I was good enough to be the best player on the high school team when I was in 7th grade. And when I was in 7th grade was when COVID hit. So COVID, everything shut down for a while. I really had nowhere to practice tennis, but there was this one clinic in Lexington. It was about 20 minutes away from where I grew up that had private lessons that I would go to. And they were all group lessons too. Like you had to qualify, you had to be good enough to get these types of advanced lessons for the kids that are good, something like that. But I was in that advanced group. And what I was really good at was power. Like if you look at me, I'm 6'2". I weigh like 230 something pounds. At the time, I was all muscle. It's different now, but at the time I was all muscle when I served and when I hit and everything. So I was a power hitter. The problem with that is I was not very accurate because most of my effort was going into making sure that if this ball goes in, my opponent can't return it. And when it did go in, my opponent couldn't return it because I hit it too fast. The most notable person in that advanced group, his name was Evan. He was, I think, a year younger than me. And if you looked at him, you would not have guessed that he was a very, very good tennis player. He was this very small, skinny kid with glasses on, but I was another small, skinny kid with glasses on. So never would have thought he was good at tennis. And if you watched him play, you didn't think he was good at tennis either, especially if he was playing against me, because every time I hit the ball, I hit a winner, is what I would like to say. My shots were about 50-50. 50% of the time it would go in, and that 50% of the time where it went in, I would win the point because they couldn't hit it back. The other 50% though is I would make an unforced error. Evan was a little bit of a different breed. He was taught a little differently than I was. He was really good at placing the ball where he wanted it to. So I would hit just an easy forehand back, like on his serve return or something. So he serves it to me. I hit the ball back just to get it in play. And then he's like, okay, I want to hit it to Luke's backhand. So he hits it to my backhand because it was my weaker of the two strokes. So he would just exploit my backhand. He would place it wherever he wanted the ball to go. And like 90% of the time, it went exactly where he wanted it to go. And he was able to beat me because I just couldn't get to the ball in time. He was very precise. He would get me scooched over and over and over, and then he would hit it cross court, just in the right spot where I can't get it. I took a break because my two main sports were tennis and cubing. And in cubing, I was top 10 in the world. In tennis, I was the best player on a decently okay high school team in Kentucky. So I took a break from tennis to focus on cubing, and it was worth it. Senior year comes around of high school, and I'm like, I want to play tennis again. So I go back, and I'm all right. I play completely fine for someone who's taken 2 years off. And eventually the regional tournament comes up. And I'm like, I wonder who's at the top of the ranks. And sure enough, I look at the 1 seed for boys singles, and it's Evan. So I'm like, okay, I wonder what he looks like now. So I went to watch his first match, and his placement had gotten a little bit better even, and he was able to hit it faster than me. So he started out with placement. I'm going to put the ball exactly where I want it to go. And then I can worry about hitting it as fast as I can later. I was more, I'm going to hit the ball as fast as I can, and if it goes in, I win. This is a very similar difference that we can find in American speed cubers and Chinese speed cubers. When you look at Chinese speed cubers, before they get really, really, really good, their turning is not what makes them good. Their turning is actually pretty lackluster compared to their solutions. In China, they make sure 100% that their solutions are solid before they worry about speeding up the turning to be able to do those good solutions really, really quickly. So I have since learned from my mistake that you need to get really, really good at solutions, or the placement in my story, before you worry about power or TPS. So make sure your solutions are solid, and if you want some help, check out the link in the description. I got you. See you tomorrow.